As a certified life coach, I have a mission for my clients, and that is to identify and remove roadblocks from your path to personal success. A topic I am particularly passionate about is attachment styles and how I can get to know myself better. Welcome to Becoming Secure with Mag's Mindset. The summer of 2018 was the beginning of my version of the American dream. I moved to the US with the intention of studying for 2 semesters as an exchange student, but the short version is that I'm still here. I currently live and work legally in the US, which I kind of feel as though is important for the story. When I came here, it was with my military boyfriend from a few episodes ago, where we stayed here together for a year. Little did I know that the US would be the country that opened up my eyes to the limitation of my own mind, reality, and home country. I've explained introductory that Norway is one of the best countries in the world, and although there's some truth to that, Norway as a society proposes some significant challenges for someone like me. Someone with big and bold dreams with no intentions of letting other people's limited views stop me from what I wanted to accomplish. I'm happy I've been stubborn in this area because not even my family was able to shake me. Not that they consciously wanted to. If anything, they wanted to protect me. But from what? The only thing that they really did was to see my world through the filter of their own knowledge, their own views, and how to accomplish things. I'm going to go on a rant, but it's important for the story. When my brothers wanted to pursue higher education after achieving their diplomas in building and automation, my father hesitated and told them it's not in our blood. People like us, we're the working class. That's where we belong. I remember this because I was there. We have talked about it a lot since. I remember thinking in that very moment, heck to the effing no, I am going to prove you wrong. And the and you best believe that both my brothers and I exceeded not only my father's expectation of what our family is capable of achieving, we exceeded far beyond our own expectations. I'm not mad that my father said what he said. If anything, it was my motivation to prove that mindset wrong. He has taken those words back since, though. You can do anything you set your mind to, was a new mantra I kept in my mind throughout tough semesters of studying. And let me make one thing clear. This is not me blaming my dad's view in any way. I know my country. I know my parents. I know where some of these mentalities came from. Norway thinks that we're past this, but I can assure you we're not. You see, there's this underlying set of values or rules that Norway stands for, whether we want to admit it or not. It's called the Law of Jante. The law consists of a set of unspoken rules or societal norms aimed at discouraging individualistic behavior and promoting collective modesty and equality. The rules, as written by Sandemos, a Norwegian-Danish author, are as follows. You are not to think you are anything special. You are not to think you're as good as we are. You are not to think you are smarter than we are. You are not to imagine yourself better than we are. You're not to think you know more than we do. You're not to think you are more important than we are. You are not to think you are good at anything. You are not to laugh at us. You are not to think anyone cares about you. And you are not to think you can teach us anything. Can you imagine what these underlying values in a society does to someone with big dreams? Or just someone who's growing up in this society? Something incredibly interesting that I have a hard time explaining happened when my ex-boyfriend and I landed in San Francisco to spend a week vacation there before proceeding to the University of Monterey Bay. After a few days there, he said to me, I'm going to lose you to the US. And you know what? He was right. It was something about the sense of belonging that I experienced being there that I had never experienced in my life. This was before I'd even really spoken to anyone there. It was just a feeling. There's just something about the energy in the air and the constant hustle that truly appealed to me. What I'd soon experienced befriending Americans was that my dreams weren't rare, but rather than being humbled to a comfortable level for them, they were celebrated and encouraged. Remember how I said that you become a result of the people you surround yourself with? I was about to experience just how true that was. Being a student in the US was a journey I'll never forget. The memories from there is ones I'll cherish forever. But the true friendships that I built would come later when I returned to San Francisco to achieve my master's degree in the year we all know so well, the year of 2020, the year of the pandemic. Anyways, oh gosh. August 20th of 2020 was the day I moved into 477 14th Street, and it was the beginning of me growing into my absolute favorite version of myself. This thanks to the crew I met: James, Arena, Genghis, Kiara, Kay, Ellie, Kishore, Sam, and Eric, to mention the core group of 477, which we later learned means best friends forever in numerology. Coincidence? I think not. This group of people is my best friends, and they shape me in ways I would never be without. This is a group of hustlers, hardworking, goal-oriented, mission-minded group of people who have all accomplished their success according to their definition of what success is. Living in the same house as them allowed me to be surrounded by a drive and determination I had never witnessed before. They all follow their passion, and they have and is accomplishing great things till this day. Beyond what they inspired in me, I built a very specific and special bond with James and Arena, my J and my A to my jam. To them, I am grateful for fantastic memories, but most of all, for the brutal and disturbingly tough conversations and confrontations their friendships brought. It's fantastic to have people in your lives to have fun with and to play, but it is the people who dare to call you out on your own blind spots and the BS that truly helps you build character. These are incredibly intellectual and analytical and insightful individuals who taught me things about myself that I had no idea was true about me. Nor did I want these things to be true about me, and their honest communication allowed me to choose what version of me I wanted to be. A crucial part of my story is that I have struggled to create deep and meaningful connections in both friends and in relationships for years. There is a combination of things that has impacted how I showed up in friendships, but it wasn't until I met James and Arena it clicked as to why. Because the truth of the matter is, I wasn't a really good friend. I didn't communicate well. I gossiped, I kept secrets, I was unfaithful. To mention a few, I wasn't really that humble, and if I could make everything about me, I certainly would. I am never going to forget the reaction that Arena and James had when I uttered that I'm humble, and they straight up laughed their ass off as if I was joking. And I really, really got humbled in that moment and made it a mission from that day forward to work on that, because that was just embarrassing, to be honest with you. There are blind spots that I simply wasn't aware of because my behavior wasn't checked. No one ever called me out before, but many froze me out. I don't have any resentment and anger towards the community I grew up in anymore. I have also been allowed to grow in a new character due to James and Arena's brutal honesty, because I wanted nothing to do with the ways they could sometimes describe me. It might sound a little bit harsh. It's not that I was independently just all that. I have great qualities as well. It's just that my unfortunate sides would take up too much space if I let it. And I would. A lot. And decisions that I have made have lost me long-term friendships, which really catapulted me into taking a harder look in the mirror and deciding what kind of friend I wanted to be. These conversations made me comfortable with feedback and confrontations, which allowed me to rekindle my hurt connections, including my family dynamics. Being able to receive constructive criticism and grow from it became a superpower of mine. And I know that it has strengthened not only my relationship with my family and friends, but it has truly strengthened my relationship with myself. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people who help you grow and build character, as opposed to those who show a cold shoulder or lack the ability to constructively communicate, will allow you to build an unwavering confidence and sense of responsibility. So this is a reminder to check yourself. What kind of people are you surrounded with? Do you respect these people? Do you like these people? Do they make you feel good about yourself, or do they make you doubt yourself? Is it a room for raw and honest connection, or do you feel silenced by fear? What decisions can you make today to ensure that you are surrounded by people who lift you up as opposed to people who pull you down. I have crazy mixed feelings when I think about what it was like growing up and being surrounded by the people that I was surrounded by in my community. Because there's like a layer of incredible memories and a lot of fun, laughter, playing in the streets, playing hide and seek, all of these variations of fun and play. But I always felt so misunderstood and left out. And it isn't really until later years I kind of recognize what that came from. And I'll definitely get back to that at some point. It's just that it's very heavy to fix, I suppose. So I'm just going to laugh it away for right now. It was just that it was such a layer of gossiping. It's not like it was just me, that kind of just went around, and there was like this hierarchy where if you had information, you would get in pass in the cool places. It's like whatever changed, growing up. Everyone is kind of striving for that, I suppose. But yeah, I was no different. But I definitely felt deeply misunderstood. And I remember I never really saw it as like bullying or whatever, but it definitely was. Like, my goodness, it was a really toxic environment in many ways as well. Like, obviously, I'm not friends with any of these people today, so I guess that's big volume. But it's unfortunate because I had so many beautiful memories as well. It's just that we didn't really grow in alignment, which was for its own purpose, I suppose. And don't get me wrong, like when I'm watching the lives that they're living now, the things they experience, the roads that they walk down, and the people they are now spending their lives with, and those who have families and are engaged, and man, it's so beautiful to watch. Like I grew up with these people, I saw them as kids, and now they're kids of their own. Like that is freaking fantastic. I really, really do admire that. And in many ways, I'm kind of jealous of it. So I really can't wait for a time where it's my turn. But that is whatever. I digress. My point is that I find it really hard to talk about growing up in Norway and the friends that I had there and stuff because as much as there is a lot of beautiful memories, there's a lot of bad ones too. And it was a lot of unhealthy environments, a lot of freezing out, and yeah, that isn't cool for anyone to experience. So I recognize that I'm threading carefully and choosing my words carefully because this is a topic in which I find tough. And I also think it's mainly because I kind of believe in my head that they would think that I'm the same person. Obviously, that's not true. I'm sure everyone has changed tremendously since like what, high school, beyond high school, middle school. You know how it goes. So obviously, it's just my own blocker. I'm creating this myself. And but there's something about like going back to your roots and going back home and just kind of recognizing that like you're not the same person who left. And I find it hard to go home sometimes because I guess I just don't want anything to do with that version of me. And I'm ashamed of that version in many ways. And therefore, I kind of fear running into people because I don't want to be treated as I guess I was treated back then. And I think that is also in many ways why I'm still in the US and never really found root in Norway. Even when I was forced to go back because visa situation stuff, not going to talk about that too much, but I had to go back to Norway for a year and a half. And even then I moved to Thailand for a while. I was supposed to be there longer, but and I even moved to like Greece for 5 months last summer just because God forbid I'd stay in Norway. I don't know. I just really could not find peace there. But I feel differently about it now, though. And that is also the beauty of having to have gone home because I do believe that a lot of the healing happens in the place where it hurts. So I recognize that there was a lot of the healing that needed to take place there. But I still struggle with friendly dynamics over there. And I don't necessarily have too many friends, but the friends that I do have, oh my gosh, what a golden bouquet that is. I love my friends that I do have in Norway. And some of them are even friends that I knew from like 4 or 5 years old that grew up on my street. But for various reasons, we grew apart for a few years and rekindle our friendship later. And those are really meaningful and super beautiful. And I am forever grateful for those dynamics and those friendships and the impact that they have in my life. And to have kind of grown apart and found each other again is also something incredibly beautiful. All right, I don't know what is going on with these heaters or whether or not you're able to hear them, but I'll take that as my cue to wrap up this episode because now I'm just rambling. But I hope you found some value in this. I hope it might have resonated. I hope you recognize that as much as it sucks to not find your crew, don't give up. They will find you. And sometimes it means moving halfway across the world. Not that I necessarily recommend that, but hey, where there's a will, there's a way. And as you know, there's a lot of power in understanding yourself. So stay curious and get to know yourself better. If you want to come share your version of how your attachment style manifested itself in your love life, please email me on magsmindset@gmail.com. I can't wait to hear from you.